Okay, well, it's 2:02. We have quite a bit on the agenda, so I think we'll get underway here. Hi, everyone. It's been a while. Happy almost GIS day here. Exciting week. We've got a ton on the docket, so I'll just share my screen per normal so we can look at the agenda as we move through. There we go. Is that readable? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so first, we'll just dive right in. First board business item is to approve the minutes from our October 21st board meeting. Thank you again, Megan, for stepping in Lauren's absence and taking those. So hopefully you got a chance to review those. And if so, I'd look for a motion to approve.
I'll motion to approve them.
Thanks, Mike. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Eric. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay, fantastic. Next up was leaving off from our discussion in October about approving the 2024-2025 accomplishments document that Gail was putting together. Gail, can I kick that to you to let us know if that got finalized and we can make a motion after some discussion?
Yeah, it is finalized.
Awesome. Fantastic. Do you want to, Gail, can you summarize for us? I'm willing to pull it up, but I think everyone's probably seen it as we ask folks to go in there and look at it. But if you want to summarize or give us any of your takeaways, I'd like to give you the chance to do that.
Yeah, I didn't get any feedback from anybody. Let's see, it's been a couple of weeks since I've looked at it. Sorry, and I've been pretty sick. So yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that might be worth just a second glance at is the dollars for the conference. I pulled those from some meeting minutes. And then, yeah, the request for assistance for member support, and then the MSU or science colloquium, which was super awesome. And then, yeah, the subcommittees. I think it's pretty straightforward. It was good.
Gail, I thought it was great. I appreciate that you worked on it. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you with any feedback. I've been like underwater for 2 months, but thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. And thanks for the feedback, Helen. It was pretty straightforward, and there are probably other things in there that I missed, but I think it did a good job of just providing a synopsis of what we did. And I do have to say, Jackson, there might be a couple things in there that I missed. But I think there were things that we actually finalized the first meeting of your presidency. So I wasn't sure that I felt really comfortable like putting them on my accomplishments, but yeah, I would think it's good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, I'll defer to your judgment on that. I thought it looks great too. I reviewed it. I didn't think of anything you missed. I did consider, Gail, whether it'd be worth adding in a few more conference data points in terms of attendance and things like that and number of speakers. I know Michelle has that on hand. So that was my only note here on a potential addition.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I'm happy to do that if we want to hold off approving it for just one more time. I can get with Michelle and add those numbers. I think it would be good to have that for next year to go back. And then I do wonder, again, I was pulling those numbers from the conference from one of the documents. So I can get with Michelle and just firm those up.
Yeah, and we can to not kick the can down the road. I think it's acceptable for us to pass it with with a note that you're going to insert the conference attendance numbers, I think that'd be fine. That way you don't have to provide
did-
another summary at the next meeting. But
It did say 220 people there. So is that
oh yeah. Okay, well maybe that's
maybe
you
we
think
just
that's adequate?
confirm the numbers, but I thought it looked good.
Yeah, I pulled them from some meeting notes, so I think the numbers are good.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that then. I missed that sentence. I apologize. I see that now. Any other comments or questions for Gail? Any discussion about the accomplishments report? Okay, hearing none. Thank you again. Thank you, Gail, for putting this together and your hard work. Sorry to hear that you've been ill. Can I get a motion to approve the 2024-2025 MAGIP accomplishments report?
I'll make a motion to approve the accomplishments report.
Thank you, Helen. Second.
I'll second it. It's Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks, Mike. All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Great, it's approved. Fantastic. I actually think I closed the agenda. There we go. Okay, so we're a little bit ahead of schedule, which is good. I wanted to carve out some time to discuss, obviously, the GIS Day meetups, which I think have come together quite nicely. So we do have, you all have probably seen the communication on this. We have a number of GIS groups, if you will, hosting mapathons for tomorrow. We have this fantastic landing page kind of hub that Lauren helped put together. So we are going with the humanitarian OpenStreetMap project. So there's a whole host of projects ranging from easy to more technically advanced. So lots of options. We have a hashtag that we're going to use, which is MAGIP Mapathon. So that'll help us track our progress in real time here. So this results page is where we're going to do that. So it's actually already kind of natively built in where we'll have to get some statistics on this throughout the day. So maybe we can volunteer to help Lauren with that. Lauren, I'll be doing a mapathon, so I'm willing to help you kind of refresh this and keep it current as needed. But otherwise, we've got, let's see, we've got Bozeman. I'm doing one here at MSU. Another one at the public library again this year. MSU Billings is doing one. We've got one up in Kalispell. The Geography Club is doing one. Are we missing any? I think we have them all on the landing page.
I thought
Nick,
there was
Lauren,
wasn't there
is there another
something
one?
in Helena?
Oh, is there? Maybe
Did
we
I
need to add Helena.
Megan, is there something going on in Helena?
There is not. The one that was
Ah.
up there was from last year.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I think we have, if we're missing one, let us know and we can get it added. But otherwise, I think we've had lots of communication on this. I think everyone kind of understands we've got resources here. You do have to set up it's a free account, but participants will have to set up an OpenStreetMap account. It's very quick and easy. And then like I mentioned, the hot tasking manager is pretty intuitive. It has instructions as you go, provides examples. So I think we're all set. Is there any discussion, any questions about logistics for tomorrow?
Are we promoting a specific project or have like a list or just letting people go for it?
I was going to advocate for, at least I was going to suggest this to the city of Bozeman, that we do the mapping damage structures in response to Hurricane Melissa, which hit Cuba pretty hard, and it's slightly closer to home in this hemisphere. And if you go to the tasks, there's that Caribbean response Hurricane Melissa. There's like 3 or 4 different tasks. I'm not sure why, but there's 2 for Jamaica and 1 for Cuba. Anyways, the impact was significant in Cuba and also in Jamaica. There's a lot of damage, and I think they have new imagery, and it's kind of mapping damage structures from what I was reading. So I was I would love to be able to do a little bit of the mapping in support of this project in particular because it resonates with me. But I think probably some people may just pick their own adventure if there's any, because this one says moderate and there might be one that's a little easier.
Is there a
So
code?
either Cuba or Jamaica, I like.
Sorry, is there a code that we'll use to put in to identify that it's MAGIP?
Yeah, we'll use the
Yeah.
MAGIP Mapathon hashtag, Gail. So
Okay.
when you start mapping a task and you're filling out the data, there's an option to put in tags, and then you can put in MAGIP Mapathon here, and that's the only way we'll know. That's
Perfect.
the only way we can track. So
Okay, so then it doesn't actually matter which project we choose. We'll be tracking progress, I guess. But I love that, Helen, when we're at our project, or at our event, we could promote that.
yeah, I'll definitely promote it, Helen. I like that. You kind of sold me, so I'll recommend that as a good option for GIS students here at NSU. A couple other notes for those of you that maybe haven't used OpenStreetMap. So I did mention the difficulty levels. So that's related to, Helen said the temporal resolution of the imagery is at high quality. Is it older imagery? Also, like what you're digitizing. So some structures are going to be more complex. So you can actually filter by difficulty level here. So, use that for those of us that are like participating or hosting. You can use that for your audience. You can pull up the easier ones, or getting all the way up into the moderate or more challenging. The rest of these, you can search by a specific name, but otherwise there's just kind of standard filters here. But like I said, once you get in there, there's very well built out kind of documentation and examples. So it's pretty intuitive, even for folks that have never done any sort of digitizing.
Hey Jackson, on that results page, I don't think that there's a time parameter on it. So in the morning, I can set it up to just display everything from the day, and hopefully it'll be good to go.
Oh, so it'll like auto refresh, Lauren?
I
Good.
think so.
Okay.
In my
Cool.
head, it will.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll test. I mean, I'm running the MSU one from 11 a.m. to 4, so I'll be like in a computer lab all day. So I'm happy to
Okay.
help you.
Okay,
and I
perfect.
can get logged into our account and everything. So
Cool. Thanks.
Will we have a contact to call just in case something happens like it did last year?
we hadn't discussed that, Mike. I'm thinking it's probably not necessary. Last year it was our own kind of application that was getting overloaded. So I'm thinking with how many folks map with OpenStreetMap that we're probably not going to need that. I'd like to avoid anyone needing to field calls in the middle of the workday, but I'm open to other stuff.
Well, I mean, I agree, but I've already had the question, if something happens, everybody was looking at me that I'm going to be able to fix it. And I'm like, well, I don't know anything about this, so I don't know who I would call. So I was just wondering if there was going to be a contact or not.
Mike,
I would call you, Mike. So
if anything happens, we're all in the same boat. We'll start drinking early.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the listserv could be an option. I guess it'd be hard to, I think I'm happy to field inquiries. I won't be able to over the phone, but I can answer emails.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I mean, if it breaks or something breaks,
Yeah.
like you said, last year it was our stuff, but this year it's more all Esri, so we really don't have anybody that we can. So our stuff is just basically in the front end part. Is that correct? The hub?
Yeah. Yeah. Ours is really, like I said, it's just a landing page sort of. So they're not doing any, we're not hosting any of the data or anything. So
Okay.
I would be totally shocked if our experience builder crashed, but Lauren and I can be on call in case there's any problems with it.
Okay.
Just so you know, Jackson, I will be driving from like 9 till 11. So
No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions about the schedule? I did want to note that we did send swag, so I think Michelle got all those boxes sent out, it sounds like. We did a handoff with the UM Geography Club because they were a little bit later in terms of their request for assistance. But we got them all swag, and then Nick, I was going to see if you would just give us a super quick summary of how many requests we got and where we're at with our budget.
Yeah, so we have 5 financial requests for tomorrow. And assuming all of the meetups use all of their requested funds, we'll be sitting at about $340 remaining on our meetup budget through July. I'd be surprised if we didn't have any underruns, so I'd guess that we'll probably have room for 2 or maybe 3 meetups through July. But yeah, everybody's been contacted and I heard back from them, and I think we're good to go on that end.
Fantastic. Any questions for Nick on the budget, the plan, anything? Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
think-
Sorry I'm late.
No, you're totally fine. We're just wrapping up the GIS Day meetups discussion, and thank you for getting all that swag out.
Yes, I'm glad you guys all got it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So no other GIS Day meetup discussion. There's nothing we need to approve there, so we'll move on.
Jackson, sorry, something just popped in my mind here related to the meetup budget. Should we like kind of keep a small amount of the meetup budget set aside for the meetup that we normally do on, I don't know if it's Monday night or Tuesday night of the conference? Like I believe we use some of the meetup funds at the conference, and I could be wrong there.
We have another 1,000 set aside
Okay.
for the GeoCon. Yeah.
Okay,
So
sounds
this is
great.
excluding that. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and some of it will depend on if we get a sponsor as well. But yeah, it's a separate line item, like Nick said.
Great. Good question, though, Helen. Okay, we're going to move on to conference planning. Jeff, I apologize. I did update the agenda, but it's on my other computer. I forgot to put it on the drive on approving the 2027 venue, but maybe I can just hand it off to you and you can give us a download on 2026 planning, and then we can turn to the 2027 venue after that.
Yeah, that was the order that I was going to go in. So just give you a quick update. We had a meeting earlier this month. I can't remember the date. We have a theme set now. It's from data to design. That was voted on by our committee. We're reviewing the call for proposals. That'll get sent out early December, as well as the call for exhibitors, probably around the same time. John Nelson obviously has been our keynote for quite a few months now. He has agreed to be a poster and web app judge. So hopefully that'll kind of lead into more submissions. I think we're hoping to have maybe the winners be spotlighted on his social media page, but that's still in the works. Monday night meetup location is still to be determined. We got a couple candidates in the works right now. 2026 landing page is up with all the information about the hotel and all this stuff. So thanks, Megan, for getting that updated for us. The student early career professional roundtable will likely happen once again, kind of based off everyone's feedback and the great turnout. So some social media blasts have already been sent from Alicia about the keynote speaker and the hotel information. So that's basically about it. Does anyone else have anything else or any questions?
Good stuff, Jeff. Thanks for the update.
Yeah, and then
page looks great, Megan, too, by the way. Looks awesome.
And then I'll get our next meeting date. Yeah, we meet on the 10th next month. So we're gonna start meeting once a month. I think it's like the second Wednesday of the month is what we chose, so it's before the board meeting. So
Any questions for Jeff on 2026 GeoCon? Okay, great. And Jeff, I think folks are welcome to join those conference planning committee
yeah,
meetings if they'd like at any point, right?
yeah, correct. Yeah, I think most of you kind of pop on and off of them. So I appreciate work's only going to continue to pick up as we get closer. So I think the hope is still to get registration up by early February, but it's kind of too soon to kind of nail down that so far. And then I want to jump into 2027. We are ready to essentially for the board to approve. We're recommending Great Falls to be the location, and it'll be at the Heritage Inn. We've had a number of discussions with them, kind of back and forth. This new group that's with the Heritage Inn is kind of a bit different than what we're used to. So we've kind of gone back and forth with them about the hotel contract. It's essentially two separate contracts that we're signing. We're signing one for the facility and then the other one for like the sleeping room block agreement. But yeah, kind of similar to what it was in 2016. You know, pretty much have the same venue. It hasn't really been updated, but it's great space for us, especially that the banquet hall. I think it's going to fit our exhibitors well. Probably depending on how many we get, we may end up pushing some of them over to the pool area as well. Those have been in that facility before. It's great space. So yeah, I definitely am in support of this, and the conference committee recommends for the board to approve.
Okay, I'll open the floor. Thank you, Jeff. I'll open the floor for discussion on that recommendation from the conference committee before we look at a motion. Any questions about the venue or conversations that have happened? Going once, going twice?
I guess, sorry, I have to ask it.
That's okay. Go
So,
ahead, Helen.
so Butte was a no-go. I know Butte was kind of also in the running. Was that like, and maybe I missed that in a recent meeting.
I mean, Butte was kind of our fallback option. I think Great Falls is kind of like the last remaining that hasn't had a Big Sky GeoCon. Their last one was still we are under the old branding of the Intermountain GIS Conference. So Kalispell and Great Falls were kind of like the last two remaining of the places that we host our conferences at that have not gotten their turn yet. So I think that's kind of why we went in that direction versus Butte. But Butte will probably be like one of the first ones in line as we kind of get into the next cycle.
Yeah. Butte and Helena are kind of a little slightly more centrally located, at least north-south wise. So yeah. Okay, cool. I'm all for Great Falls. Was just wondering what happened with Butte.
Yep.
Any other questions for Jeff or discussion? Okay, with that, then I'll ask for a motion to approve the conference planning committee's recommendation of Great Falls as the 2027 Big Sky GeoCon host site. That was a mouthful.
I'll go ahead and make that motion to set Great Falls as the 2027 conference location.
Thank you, Jeff. Looking for a second.
I'll
Second that.
Sorry.
Beat you, Mike. I beat you. This is Megan.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. Mike's he's got his turn with his seconds today, so we'll give it to Megan. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion's passed.
And I will mention too, we've gotten local support as well. When Michelle and I were up there, we had Aaron Vaughn and Tom Middle kind of on the tour with us, so we're gonna have great support from them. So
yeah, fantastic. Okay, so we're kind of moving into our other board business category now. So I think we'll start with MGAC and Eric, if you are ready to give us a report back on the latest MGAC meeting, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. I dropped it in the chat. You'll see I dropped in a web link to the meeting resources. We just had our most recent meeting was November 13th, 2025. So that was just last Thursday. I dropped like I said, a link there so you could pull up and see the events page. The meeting recording is already available as well. But a couple high noted things. If you want to click on the agenda, whoever's controlling that, if you scroll down, yeah, when the event resources load, you'll be able to see the agenda. And in the agenda, they have a number of links already going out to some of the things that we worked on. Couple things that I wanted to bring up. Looks like the budget is going to be is in good order, and we approved this MGIA grant program internal review final report. It came out with a number of different action items and proposals. One of those dealing with how the grants are going to operate here in the coming years. They're going to be running the grants as a 2-year program. They should be opening up grants. Actually, I think it's this December we should be seeing some things coming up, if not January, looking at FY27 grant cycle type of thing. The grant program right now, if you have opened that document, you'll see right now what we're looking to do is we're going to try and we pre-approved these couple of these grants back in 2024, 25. And what we're going to do is reach back out to these folks and give them first dibs on funding for this coming grant cycle. We looked at those. It shouldn't be more than I think it's going to be close to around $140,000 that would be used up by those, but could potentially go into these 4 grants that we're going to that we push forward, which allows yet another 230 still available for other grants, for grants. So be watching the MGAC reports or MGAC emails. So that was actually very positive news to see that. That was exciting to see that we were going to be reopening up that grant priorities or grant program for our local government opportunities. And that document that was in there, the MGI grant program internal review, that final report, that highlights the priorities just go to the agenda. Or that one right there. That has some of the highlighted items that they propose that they'll be moving forward to. They're going to do away with the tier 1s. We're going to focus more on the NSID spatial data sets for doing work and where that grant money is going to be going when the time comes. So if you scroll down on that one, scroll through into the table of contents. Actually, if you go back to the table at the top, so you'll see the recommendations. So page 7 gets you to those recommendations, and you could scroll through and see what those recommendations are that they're going to be using to drive forward with the grant program and some of the work that'll be going on with that. I see, Rob, you have your hand up.
Yeah. Just a quick question. You provided a lot of information here. Are there grants available this year?
No. Nope.
No grants this year.
Not yet. No, I think it's opening up. The grant will be opening up. Gosh, I don't recall. Hold on. FY27 so we'll be looking at funding for FY27. We're just right now mid 26. So
okay.
So
Yeah,
ahead.
what comes to mind here, and I apologize if I'm taking a little bit of time, but it's really fits in nicely. I saw that you've got something going out to Wheatland County. I just recently met somebody in the fire department at a community in Wheatland County, and they were talking about getting their crews together and driving the back roads so that they would know how to get there in case of an emergency. And I'm thinking, well, you know, this is a perfect opportunity for one of these grants. I'm sure there's some way that we could help the fire department become spatially enabled and take advantage of this next gen 911 stuff. So
Yeah,
I want
and
to help.
that's
I want to help them put a grant together, and I don't know. Maybe you and I could talk about it at some point here in the near future.
well, that's one that was already, you'll see that there in Wheatland County, that one
Yeah,
item 3. That was an I just clicked on the link on it and opened it up. That was the Wheatland Valley PSAP is in a position. 2 rural counties. The proposed phase will lay the framework for the NENA standards. Let's see. Wheatland County Sheriff contracted with Great West Engineering and its GIS team to build a GIS framework to support those steps. So that was what that grant is going to, if should they continue, should they say, yep, we're still ready to do this, then they would be getting their grant funding. And I'm trying to see what their, if you scrolled through, you'd see what some of their project was. Let's see, compile. Yeah, I mean, I remember scoring this one way back when in 25. So
right.
that
And
was,
no, I think this is a great step. And what I'm looking to do is help a municipality take advantage of this type of stuff. Right.
okay.
So anyway, I don't need to burden the meeting with this, but maybe Eric, you and I could have a conversation
Sure.
offline.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Yeah, because you could see what their grant was going to be doing to begin with in terms of multi-layer. You know, I don't know what there says their account for validating and correcting data sets, boundary data sets. I don't know if it necessarily is going to be collecting and compiling road data, but yeah, so you can see that PDF from that one. But yeah, so that's where things are going. I'm sorry, Rob. Yeah.
I can get to this through the
Yep.
MGIA.
Yep. Everything that Jackson's been clicking on is all stuff that's all right off that agenda website and going right to and seeing those things. So if you clicked on the agenda, and then in the agenda, you would have seen MGIA grant program FY 27-28 priorities. And then when you clicked on that one, I then clicked on the URL for Wheatland County, and that opened up the grant application that they'd submitted. So
great. That'd be a good thing for me to look at first.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's their full grant application. So let's see. So we were talking about that. They went to a 2-year cycle only because it seemed like they were doing a lot of extensions for a number of the grants. And so I look at it this way, that as a 2-year cycle, a grant recipient can ask for a little bit more money, but then on the front end, they don't have to rush through an RFP and vendor selection process. And then they'll have plenty of time to get someone on board and hopefully complete the work that's necessary during that second cycle or second year of their grant type of thing. We had a really really nice presentation regarding some modern cartography that the staff have been doing. And actually, Megan's seen this and was, I just dropped another link. This is a story map. It's showing the state library has been doing some really cool stuff with relative elevation models and exploring things with LiDAR derived derivatives or LiDAR derived artwork. And so at that header there, that LiDAR derived artwork, you can see they've done some really cool posters and postcards and things like that at the very header up there, you could see that one and get down to it. But so that's some cool stuff that they shared from the state library side of things. And then let's see, the state of Montana has finally finalized an ESRI master agreement. So so Aaron, if you are interested in seeing that, contact Aaron. So they have a master agreement that even local governments can purchase under that. So for any ESRI products, so like your single seat licenses, I asked, the master agreement does not reduce the cost of ELAs. So for those of us that are doing enterprise license agreements, but you can purchase as a local government, you can use the state's negotiated rates to make your purchases of software. So if you're just looking to get a single seat of ArcGIS, type of thing, you can use it that way. And then her final mention was the ESRI governance workshop. And actually, I had been invited to attend that, and I sat kind of like that fly on the wall to listen in on how the state agencies were going to look at the governance of all the data that they maintain and they collect. And so there was some pretty interesting discussion there about how the state agencies relate to each other, and this idea of why are there 6 different parcel layers out there in places, that type of thing. And so that kind of moved them forward, and they're waiting on the ESRI person who led that workshop to get back to them with all their findings and some more details on where they thought improvements could be made and where stuff could be done, and we'll see what pans out from that side of things. And let's see, the quarterly financial report was provided, and the MGIA collections dashboard was out there. Again, those are some pretty cool things. Oh yeah, I'm sure Aaron or Megan, they'd be thrilled to send you some of those posters. So. But yeah, looking at the MGIA collections and looking at the financial report, it looks like things are starting to come back. Obviously, we're only into the first full month, so it'll be interesting to see once all the counties start reporting in their collections. But October was the first full month of that new MGIA or the new filing fees. So we will see here in mid-November or whenever the October report. Actually, now that I'm saying that, let me just see if other counties have gotten their reports in. So let's see here, monthly collections in dollars. So yeah, so 23. So we get rid of 19 and 20. Yeah, we'll see how it's going monthly. They're still looking back. So, but yeah, it was a good meeting. It was a quick meeting. We had a good one, but some great information shared on that one. So we didn't hear yet from the federal folks because they were still furloughed, but I think that was the last day of everything there. So
thanks, Eric, and thank you for serving in your role at liaison.
Yeah.
Do we have a date for the next MGF meeting? I couldn't find it online.
Yeah, it's if you scroll back up on that agenda, if you had that agenda open, MGI Council proposed meeting dates, second one down, right there. So we'll be meeting January, April, June, September, November. So
okay, great. I'll update that. We can get that updated on our site and in our agendas. So thanks.
Yep.
Any questions for Eric before we wrap up MGF? Okay, fantastic. Well, it looks like Andrew's on. Andrew, I promised Andrew at least 10 minutes to give us a update on local government SIG. So Andrew, I'll hand the baton to you.
All right. Yeah, I realized a few months ago that I had not yet given any update to the board for this iteration of the board. So my apologies for having waited almost an entire year to give you an update. But we have had a variety of topics this year. We started off with talking about the CAMA database with Mindy Cochran from the city of Kalispell. We looked at the Montana Land Use Planning Act and how to support that with GIS with both the state of Montana and city of Missoula. And we also looked at addressing and how to communicate with the U.S. Postal Service and other partners, which was by far, I think, the most attended session of the year and the most popular. And then we had the roundtable at the Big Sky GeoCon, which was an opportunity for all of us to pillory the Esri rep with all of our hated questions about Esri local government projects, and got some good feedback and some good information to pass on. And then we looked later into the spring with county floodplain management for Missoula County and how they integrate GIS with that. And Gallatin County looked into presenting about a 30-day call log of their the dashboard they put together with that, which then inspired Eric Spangenberg to do the same thing for his municipality. And then we had a summer of USGS. They talked about LiDAR, how to download that. There was a joint announcement with USGS and 3DHP in the state library about how to apply for that grant, which was an important topic. And then we finished out with a looking at how to create custom topo maps with Topo Builder. And last month we had to do a switcheroo between this month and last month's topics when the speaker had to step out. So I presented on using tasks in ArcGIS Pro and how we do that for community development. And then we're closing out with a presentation from Civil Corps on GIS solutions for pavement management and capital improvement. And for December, we're looking at one more presentation from Elaine at the USGS, which is yet to be determined. So we've had a variety of topics. And I was very pleased earlier on in the year when I would frequently get lots of people volunteering to present so that I had less work about keeping up the looking for speakers and content. But I was disappointed that since July of this year, for reasons I can't yet explain, attendance has dropped by at least half. And so poor Elaine from the USGS was frequently speaking to a skeleton crew of maybe 15 or less folks per month for each of her presentations. It picked up a little bit more in September, but it hasn't really recovered. And I don't know the reason why, but I'm a little bit concerned both for the disappointment it gives for the speakers who are expecting to present to more people. And also, it's also my time being able to volunteer and find speakers and present and hold the meetings. And, Jeff Hedstrom, to his credit, has been nudging me in this direction for about a year or two, but I am considering switching to a bi-monthly format for 2026 to reduce the volume of speakers needed, give myself more time to find people, and also maybe incentivize people to attend more. And so I just wanted to invite this forward to questions. I've really enjoyed this time and this project, but it is definitely something that takes time and effort to keep running. And I'm always open for feedback and input.
Thanks for being awesome and a champion, Andrew. I appreciate it.
Yeah, seconded, Andrew. And I think, we're in support if you want to move to bi-monthly. And also, if we can help spread the word, we do have, I think some blasts have gone out in the past, but if we can up the frequency of the announcements via the MAGIP socials on the local SIG meetings, we'd be happy to do that. to help you attract more attendees?
That'd be great. And I think maybe nudging Erin Fashaway and her partners at the state library more often to take advantage of this captive forum for doing updates on different theme leads or different projects. I think last year Jeff Hedstrom took advantage of that with Mike Snook to do an update on CAD NSDI. And Troy Blanford did it this year. But I would love to see more integration with the state library and their different theme topics. Or if in your daily work you come across something that you think would be beneficial as a topic for the SIG, feel free and pass it along my way. And I was pleased this year, especially in the first one with Mindy, who doesn't, we've got a lot of shy people on the SIG who are a little bit reluctant or vulnerable to share. And I was pleased that we had at least one person who was willing to do that, but I would love to see more participation from those who speak less often and who are just listening more. But yeah, I think, starting in 2026, I think I would probably start in February so that I would avoid conflicting with the July Esri conference season and go from there. So.
Great. Well, yeah, we're here to support you, Andrew. Any questions for Andrew about the upcoming calendar? Andrew, we can get you in touch with Alicia. She's the one that helps us with the social media posts. Maybe
Okay.
you already have her contact, but we can spread the word early and often. So she does a great job with like I send her stuff and it's fairly bare bones, and she does a very nice job of taking that and turning it into something professional looking. So she doesn't need a ton. So I'm hoping it wouldn't add too much work to your plate to have her post some announcements.
Sure. And something I was also thinking about would be, this forum is open to anybody, even if you're not in local government, you can still join as long as you have the Zoom link. I don't know if maybe worth passing the link on to students who might be interested in kind of seeing what professional GIS people are thinking and doing, and provide a pathway into looking into a possible career path. What do you think about that, Jackson?
Yeah, that's a great idea. We have in our department here at MSU, one of the majors is GIS and planning. So I think I'd definitely be willing to chat with my colleagues and see if they would be willing to participate. I'm sure they would. That's a great idea. Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. So that's what I had to share. And I appreciate all your support, especially from Helen and Jeff and Eric and all the people who have supported me and brainstormed and thought through all different things with me all the way through. So.
Great. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for jumping on and taking the time.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got 10 minutes before the top of the hour. That was all that I had on my docket for an agenda, but we have 10 minutes. So are there any new business, any other discussion that we want to have with the remaining time? This can't be. We've never ended early. There we go, Rob. I knew you'd come through for me.
No, I just wanted to say, thank you guys so much for setting up the GIS Day stuff. There was a lot of traffic from Anna Clenny from U of M. Mike made a funny comment about don't know why it's so hard for them. I agree. It seemed like a lot. And I just want to say I apologize for not handling that better with the shutdown. I was kind of like, I was out. I didn't touch a computer for 6 weeks. So, but yeah, I should have participated. I should have just gone to the university and talked with her directly, but I thought they could handle it. So anyway, thank you guys for taking the reins. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I've never met Anna, but she seems great over email. So I'm glad that we got her set up, and I think
Yeah.
they got their swag. So good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's trying to kind of push the geography club to do these things instead of her doing them. So yeah, I think that was maybe the holdup.
Totally. And Michelle, please tell Kim thank you for, I think Kim took the box to her house and then met up with Anna. So that was very nice of her to help facilitate that handoff.
Yeah, I will. Yep, I think they worked it out for sure. And that's tomorrow, right? All the events are happening tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, Michelle. We better see you on there with your own custom hashtag. No, yeah, they're all happening tomorrow. So, okay, well, any other business items? So next meeting is on December, let me tell you, December 16th. It's another virtual meeting. You should have it on your calendar. So 2 p.m. on December 16th, which is a Tuesday. And then we'll, at that meeting, we will discuss the January, which will be the next in-person board meeting. So we'll have a plan in December for where we're meeting and what the schedule looks like there. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for your hard work around GS Day. I think we'll just wrap it there. First meeting that I've presided over that we're ending early, so I think that's a good thing. So great to see everyone. See you online tomorrow, mapping away.
Great.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
See
guys.
y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.